Hello everyone, welcome back to Criminology Unlocked, unveiling the science behind crime, security, and society.
This video is strictly for educational purposes. It discusses criminological theories and does not promote crime or violence.
Today we will be exploring the School of Criminology. Remember, we have different schools of criminology. The different schools of criminology include the classical school, the neoclassical school, the biological school, the psychological school, the sociological school, the ecological school, also known as the Chicago School, the radical school, also known as the Marxist school, the feminist school, and the developmental school of criminology. Now that we know the different schools of criminology, today we will be exploring one of the most fascinating historical schools. These ideas are historical and not considered valid today, but they shaped the early study of crime. I know you will be wondering which school was that, but you can guess the school in the comments section. Because I am your teacher, I will tell you, let's explore the school carefully and academically. The most fascinating and historical school of criminology is the Biological School of Criminology. Remember, these ideas are historical and not considered valid today, but they shaped the early study of crime. The Biological School of Criminology is a school of thought which explains crime from the biological perspective and the physical nature of human beings. It holds that criminal behavior is inherited, and that people commit crime because of inborn physical and biological abnormality, and not mainly because of society or environment. The biological school believed that people are born criminals and their body reveals signs of criminality. This school tries to answer the question, which is, why do people commit crime even when punishment is severe? The historical background of the biological school. The biological school developed in the 19th century. During the period when science was growing rapidly, medicine was expanding. Human anatomy and evolution were being studied. The theory of evolution by Charles Darwin had gained attention. People began to believe that human behavior could be studied scientifically and that crime could be explained. Using medicine, biology, and evolution, the scientific atmosphere gave birth to Biological School of Criminology. Founder and father of the Biological School of Criminology is Cesare Lombroso, 1835 to 1909. He is an Italian medical doctor, a professor of psychiatry, and a criminologist. Lombroso wrote several important books, but one book made him world famous. L'Uomo Delinquente, The Criminal Man, 1876. This is Lombroso's most important and famous book. It is the foundation of the Biological School of Criminology. What the book teaches: criminals are atavistic beings, evolutionary throwbacks. He based this book on autopsies of criminals, measurement of skulls, observation of prisoners, study of mental illness. This book introduced criminal anthropology, scientific study of crime, biological explanation of criminal behavior. This single book changed criminology forever. Another book of Lombroso, father of biological school, is The Female Offender, 1893. In this book, Lombroso studied female criminals, prostitutes, female deviants. He argued, wrongly by today's standards, that women commit fewer crimes because they are less aggressive by nature. Criminal women are more abnormal than criminal men. Today, this book is highly criticized for gender bias, but it is still historically important. Another of Lombroso's book is Crime, Its Causes and Remedies. In this book, Lombroso discussed causes of crime, biological plus social, how crime can be prevented, punishment, and rehabilitation. This book shows that later in his life, Lombroso accepted that environment also matters, not just biology. Other minor works of Lombroso: studies on epilepsy and insanity, works on psychiatric disorders, studies on social deviance. According to this school, some people are biologically predisposed to commit crimes. Lombroso's classification of criminals. Very important. I know you want to hear it. Lombroso did not believe that all criminals are the same. He divided criminals into three main categories. Number one of the classification of criminal is born criminal, atavistic criminal. This is the most important and central type in Lombroso's classification. A born criminal is a person who is naturally and biologically programmed to commit crime from birth. Lombroso believes such a person is an evolutionary throwback, atavism, closer to primitive humans, lacks proper moral sense. Characteristics of a born criminal. This video is strictly for educational purposes. It discusses criminological theories and does not promote crime or violence of any for strictly educational purposes. Let's continue with the teaching. We are still on the characteristics of born criminal. According to Lombroso, born criminals show no remorse or guilt, no sympathy or conscience, high level of cruelty, love for violence, low intelligence, impulsiveness, and resistance to reform, physical stigmata, signs of born criminals. Lombroso said born criminals can be identified by physical features such as large jaw,
sloping forehead, long arm, big ears, deep-set eye.
Lombroso's view on born criminals. He believed born criminals cannot be cured, but only controlled by society through punishment and isolation. Today, modern science rejects this, but it was accepted during his time. Now, number 2 of the classification is insane criminal. This group contains people who commit crime due to mental illness or psychological abnormality. An insane criminal is a person who commits crime because they are mentally unstable. They suffer from psychiatric disorders. Their brain does not function normally. Examples of insane criminals: psychotics, epileptics, schizophrenics. And people with severe personality disorders, characteristics of insane criminals are they do not fully understand their actions and they lack self-control. They may be violent or unpredictable. They are dangerous when untreated, and they are not fully responsible for their crimes. He believed insane criminals should be treated medically, kept under psychiatric care, not punished like normal criminals. The final classification of criminal in biological school is criminaloid. This is the most misunderstood category, but very important. Listen carefully. A criminaloid is a person who is not born a criminal, not mentally insane, but becomes a criminal due to environment, opportunity, and social condition. A normal person who becomes a criminal due to influence and circumstances. Causes of criminaloid behavior are poverty, peer pressure, bad friends, unemployment, greed, weak moral control, social injustice, and political corruption. The characteristics of a criminaloid are that they can feel guilt, are aware of right and wrong, and can be reformed. Commits crime occasionally, not always, and crime is mostly opportunistic. Examples of criminaloid are a man who steals because of hunger, a civil servant who takes bribe due to pressure, and a student who joins cult because of peer influence. The why Lombroso introduced this classification because he wanted to prove that not all criminals are the same. Crime has different causes. Treatment and punishment should differ. Some criminals need medical care, not prison, and some criminals need education and social reform, not punishment. Let's see the difference between the 3 classifications of criminals according to Lombroso. Number 1 is born criminals. A, criminality inherited. B, normal mind. C, cannot be reformed. D, no conscience. And E, fully dangerous. Number 2 is insane criminal. A, mental illness. B, abnormal mind. C, can be reformed through treatment. D, distorted. And E, partially responsible. The final is criminaloid. A, social environment. B, normal mind. C, can be reformed. D, normal. And E, fully responsible. Let's talk about major theories under the biological school. Biological school is not just Lombroso alone. It includes several important biological explanations. Number 1 is Lombroso's theory of the born criminal. Lombroso believed criminals are atavistic, evolutionary throwbacks. Criminals resemble early primitive humans. Criminal behavior is inherited, and physical appearance can reveal criminality. Physical traits diagnosed are sloping forehead, large jaw, long arms, big ears, deep-set eyes, asymmetrical face, and excessive tattoos. Number 2 is genetic theory of crime. This theory says that criminal behavior can be passed from parents to children. Studies supporting this include twin studies. Identical twins show higher crime similarity than fraternal twins. Adoption studies. Children whose biological parents were criminals tend to offend,
Even when raised by non-criminal families. Conclusion. Genes influence aggression.
Shows impulsiveness and violent tendencies. There is some genetic influence,
But environment plays the largest role. Key scholars are Johannes Lange,
in Carl Christensen and Sarnoff Mednick. Adoption study. Number 3 is neurological and brain abnormality theory. This theory argues that brain injury, poor brain development, dysfunction in the frontal lobe can lead to poor self-control, aggression, violence, lack of empathy. The frontal lobe controls decision-making, morality, impulse control, and damage to it increases criminal tendencies. Researchers used MRI and brain imaging, along with neuropsychological tests. Findings: irregularities in certain brain areas, notably the prefrontal cortex, reduce self-control and increase risk of impulsive behaviors. Key scholars are Adrian Rain, famous for neurocriminology, and Kent Keel. Number 4 is hormonal theory. Hormones affect behavior. Yes, according to this theory. See, examples are high testosterone leads to aggression and violence. Another is low serotonin leads to impulsive, violent behavior. And abnormal cortisol levels leads to stress-related aggression. Thyroid functions. These examine whether chemical imbalances can influence aggression. This theory explains why violent crime is more common among young males and people with hormonal imbalance. Number 5 is biochemical theory. This focuses on diet, drugs, alcohol, and chemical imbalance in the body. Scholars examined blood chemistry and nutritional deficiencies. This theory shows poor nutrition, substance abuse, and toxic chemicals may influence violent behavior. Now that we are done with the theories, let's talk about Lombroso stigmata. Cesare Lombroso, Biological and Physical Properties of Criminals. In his work, The Criminal Man, 1876, argued that some individuals were born criminals, could be identified by atavistic features, physical traits that reflected a regression to primitive humans. He measured skulls, faces, and body shapes of prisoners to develop his theory. Cranial and facial features are asymmetrical skulls leads to uneven or irregular head shape. Low sloping forehead is considered a sign of primitive intelligence. Protruding jaw or large mandible is an aggressiveness indicator. High cheekbones is linked to predatory behavior. Large ears is an abnormal ear shape and considered a sign of criminality. Flattened nose is associated with atavism. Large chin is deviations from average human proportions. The picture on the screen is a description of criminality according to Lombroso. Another one in Lombroso's description is teeth and oral features of criminality. Large canine teeth are believed to resemble those of predatory animals, showcasing a fascinating evolutionary trait. Gaps in teeth or irregular dental structure is considered primitive traits.
The eyes have facial expressions like sunken eyes or unusual eye placements.
Glassy or staring eyes is indicative of moral insensitivity. Asymmetrical facial expressions is linked to emotional instability. Body proportions are long arms, suggested physical strength and potential for violence.
Short stature or underdeveloped body. Some types of criminality were associated with weak physiques. Asymmetrical body shape leads to deviations in limb length or torso shape. Other physical traits are abnormal skin features, scars, birthmarks, or irregularities. Hairiness and excessive hair seen as primitive. Shape of fingers and hands. Long or unusually shaped fingers linked to certain behaviors. Spinal curvature or posture abnormalities is observed in some offenders. 7 main assumptions of the biological school. The biological school is based on these assumptions. 1. Criminal behavior is inherited. 2. Crime is linked to physical and genetic makeup. 3. Some people are naturally aggressive. 4. Brain abnormalities can lead to crime. 5. Hormonal imbalance affects violent behavior. 6. Crime is not always a free will choice. Final assumption is that criminals differ biologically from non-criminals. Contributions of the biological school to criminology. The biological school made very important contributions. 1 is introduced scientific study of crime. 2 shifted focus from sin to science. 3 led to development of forensic science. 4 inspired psychology, psychiatry, and neuroscience. 5 improved medical treatment of criminals. 6 helped in criminal profiling. 7 influenced crime prevention through rehabilitation. Criticism of the biological school. Yes, biological school is criticized. Despite its contributions, the biological school has many weaknesses. 1, it ignores the role of society. 2, it promotes discrimination and stigmatization. 3, not all criminals have biological defects. 4, many people with biological issues never commit crime. 5, crime rates change with economic conditions. 6, support racial and class bias. 7, too much focus on physical appearance. 8, environmental factors ignored in early works. Today, the biological school is not discarded, but it is transformed. Modern criminology agrees, and that biology alone does not cause crime. Environment alone does not cause crime. Crime emerges when both interact. We now focus on brain development, childhood nutrition, trauma and stress, mental health, genetic vulnerability, social environment, education, and economic conditions. This leads to better rehabilitation, prevention strategies, early interventions, and understanding of human behavior. Modern biological criminology is scientific, ethical, and integrated, far from the early deterministic ideas. The summary of the Biological School of Criminology makes us to understand that Cesare Lombroso's books and classification of criminals form the foundation of the Biological School of Criminology. The Biological School of Criminology changed the world by introducing a scientific explanation of crime. Although many of his ideas are outdated today, his contribution to the scientific study of crime is unmatched. This video is strictly for educational purposes. It discusses criminological theories and does not promote crime or violence. Guess what we will explore in our next lesson in the comment section. Learning is the journey we embark on together, filled with curiosity and discovery. Thank you for watching Criminology Unlocked. Remember, knowledge is your greatest security. Like, subscribe, and comment to our channel. See you soon.